In this video, we will be going over how to create thumbnails for our videos. And by thumbnails, I don't mean the clickbaity ones. I mean like the thumbnails when you're seeking. So it helps people jump to different places in the video. Obviously, you wouldn't need this if you're directly using videos on your website that are from YouTube. But if you weren't, if you needed to, maybe Google's Google's being an asshole and you needed to for some reason. But yeah, we're going to go over how to do that. So um, we will be using for that something called Gradient Media Player, which has a GitHub right here, and it has something that helps you create VTT thumbnails. It has a walkthrough for it. You need to install FFmpeg. This is one way to install it, but if you installed the YouTube downloader, you should already have that. So you shouldn't need that, but you can use FFmpeg, which would allow you to create a mosaic of thumbnails. So we'll do that first. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna want to do is take this command and format it the way that we need to. We can just go ahead and throw this into Notepad++ and then try to understand what's going on. We see this first point where it talks about this mod in 120, and they get that by taking 5 frames a second. We're getting a frame every 5 seconds of the video, and this is a video in their example that runs at 24 FPS. This video that we grabbed from YouTube as an example, like all videos from YouTube run at 30 frames per second. And properties, you might see this on some video that you didn't just grab that way, but yeah, so that would be 150. That's 30 times 5 would be 150 instead of 120. So we can change that. We're also gonna want to put in the name of the video that we're dealing with. Take this and put this in it. Not sure if we have to put quotes on it since it has spaces, but I guess we'll see. Might have to. I'll try it with quotes just in case. Okay, after that, we need to get this tile by tile number, and the way that they get it is they take the duration divided by 5 seconds. And in this case, they get 120, so they have to get, two numbers multiplied by each other that are big enough to fit that number in. So we would want to get the duration of this video details. It's 8 minutes and 2 seconds. 8 times 60 seconds plus 2 is 482. And then we have to divide that duration by 5 since we want a thumbnail every 5 seconds. Divided by 5 gives us 96.4. So 10 times 10 is 100. That would hold this. They got 100 and 120. So 11 by 11 was 121, which is enough to encase that. So 10 by 10 should be enough. Eh, Okay. After that, I think that's pretty much all we need. Let's try it. We'll see if those, if, and this is what it'll name the mosaic. If you wanted to name it something else, call it test dash mosaic, just cause, control I. Okay, so if we come to our download folder, here and type CMD to open a command window and paste it in. Let's see if this, fine, what happened? Oh, I guess I must, when I pasted it in, I guess it just went. All right. Yeah, no, now we have the thumbnails for seeking. So that's the first step. Now we need to generate the VTT that actually breaks this apart so that it knows at what point in the video to use it. So we'll have to do that. Okay, so for these final steps, we're actually going to need to clone this repository. We haven't actually installed in Git in any of the other tutorials. You could use VS Code to clone a repository, but if you want to be able to do it in any command window, you just have to install. Once you download get downloads be enough. You can get it for Windows 64-bit. Standalone sounds good. But I already have Git installed on the computer, so not. Wait a minute, there's a Wingit install Git. This might also work. So instead of doing that, but either one is fine. But once you have Git installed, then you should be able to use the command, right? And you should be able to clone this repository. So if you go to repos, this is where our repos are. Open up a command window here and paste that in. Right click and enter. Copies that repository. Now we have this. We got an output and assets. And it's a CD in here, and it has this command where it has the mosaic that we created, the JPEG, and an output for the VTT file to go. This is the iteration that they used up here. Our iteration was 96.4. So let's just try to get our command right first. This is the name of our mosaic. We can just go ahead and place it in that directory. And assets. I guess they actually give you some assets to test it out with, but we can use our test mosaic. I already do that. I did. And let's just call it a test. Okay, our duration is actually that's the duration of the whole video. So let's multiply by 5 again. 482 and replace that 482. And I believe none of this other stuff needs to be changed except for this last one. I believe that 11 is where that came from, but this 72 and 128 is the size of the tile, and that's 5 seconds, I think. So I think that should be it as far as generating the BTT file. So we need to be in that directory here, and let's try it out. Uh, does not exist. We'll create it. So in our output, yeah, now we have this. You can open that. And yeah, that is it. So yeah, that is it. And I can quickly show how this works. So you'll need this file and the mosaic to actually be able to use it in our project. And I'll quickly show what that looks like in practice. Okay, so just to show some of the thumbnails in action, and obviously before we get anywhere near to being able to do this, you're going to have to go deep within the M4A section, 110 section to get to this point. But this is just to show the thumbnails in action, just so that you can, so that you know what to expect. It's not working at the moment, and that is because it the VTT file doesn't actually know where to find the mosaic. We have this assets directory from where we made it, which is not where it's currently located. It's currently located here. I can just grab this directory from some already working ones and just replace this, Control H, and just replace them all. And you have to save it. If you don't save it, it doesn't count for anything. But then we save it. You also have to refresh it. Then we refresh it, and now there are thumbnails. And this helps the user when they're seeking or trying to click for a certain part in the video so that there's pictures that help them. But yeah, I know. That's the VTT file for the thumbnail, which is also the same file extension for the subtitles, but there's no mosaic that it's dealing with. But still the same concept with times and stuff and whatnot. There's times for the for the captions and subtitles, and there's times for the thumbnails and the
Wow,
mosaic.
this software.
And that's how that works. But obviously, if you were just embedding a YouTube video directly or any video from any platform, you probably wouldn't even have to do this. But if you are using a custom player, your own player, or some other library player, this is how you would go about adding the thumbnails to it. So that is pretty much it. So I will see you in the next video.